Hello and welcome to another episode of Reviews on the Couch, where we discuss movies, how they made us feel, and lessons we can pick from them. My name is Elsie Godwin. If this is your first time of visiting this channel, kindly subscribe by clicking the red button below and also hit the bell button so you get notified each time there is a new content. Thank you. On this episode of Reviews on the Couch, we will be reviewing and discussing a 2020 Nigerian drama film titled Finding Hubby. Based on the blog series by Tunde Leye, the film follows the adventures of a 35-year-old lady and her friends on the journey to finding a husband. The movie features actors like Kehinde Bankole, Ade Laoye, Efa Iwara, Omowumi Dada, Damilola Ogunsi, and others. Joining me on this episode is Tracy Edori. Tracy is a civil servant and an unbiased movie buff. She'll be joining me right after this break. Thank you, Tracy, for being my guest on Reviews on the Couch. We're supposed to have Jerry as well, but I don't know, his network is really bad. We are reviewing Finding Hubby, and it's a movie I saw in 2020 in the cinemas, but right now it's on Netflix, and of course, you can watch it if you have not seen it. But being an unbiased movie buff, like you said, how did you feel when you watched Finding Hubby?
Let's see, like I said, I am an unbiased movie buff. So I love movies generally. It doesn't really matter. As long as it entertains me, then I'm game. So movies, anime, even Korean drama, I'm going to say it as long as I'm entertained. But at the same time, I'm not really big on Nigerian entertainment because, like I said, I have to be entertained. So most of the movies I don't get, I'm not entertained and I'm bored. So I end up not watching them. So I've not seen a decent Nigerian movie in years. So a friend of mine, Zika, she said, "Oh, you should see this movie on Netflix, Finding Hubby. You would like it." I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to jump to conclusion. Let me actually just see the movie." Now, I have to state that I don't know any of the actresses or the actors. I don't recognize them because I don't follow Nigerian movies. So I didn't recognize any of them. But I was actually able to enjoy it because I was actually able to see myself. Like, it felt like they depicted what it means to be a young, working Nigerian woman now, single Nigerian lady now. It was based on my present reality. That's all I could say. Like, I could see myself, I could see my friends, I could see my sister, I could see acquaintances, I could see my colleagues represented in the movie. Like, I could see them. So it wasn't something that wasn't relatable. It was a very relatable story. That was what I loved about it. And I had to tell my best friend about it. I was like, I don't watch, you know me, this is not my scene. But I have to say, it was a very relatable movie. So anyone go could go see the movie and actually get away with something. If you're a modern, young, single, even married Nigerian or African woman, I feel like it represented all of us.
I'm glad that you say it's a movie a lot of people can relate to, and you yourself can
Yes,
relate to the movie. So, based
yes,
on that, I'll just be asking a few questions from the movie, the storyline, and see what
of
we can learn
course.
from it. I am deliberately going to stay away from talking about the pressure that comes from the family and their
Mm.
support, because I think I have overflogged that, or we have overflogged that in conversations, even on Reviews on the Couch. So let's not get into all that. But my first question would be, would you blame a woman for just wanting better? Because I want to go into Ade, the ex-boyfriend that came back. But before we even get to that point, looking at the story of what
Mm.
she had with Ade and how wanting more, what would you say to that? Is it something really terrible? Because when you see conversations around that on social media, it makes it seem like, oh, she's a gold digger, oh, she's this, she's that.
Um,
What do you think?
Personally, I don't think she wanted more was a terrible thing. Like, I I would want more, like, in a man, but the what my own issue, what I really picked at was the way she broke up with him. It wasn't necessary. Like, it wasn't necessary to bring him down, to make him feel less than an ant, you understand, just because he couldn't provide. And he could, like, he did say he had half of the money. It wasn't like he didn't have anything at all. So my issue with that breakup scene was the way she made him feel small. Like nobody, I mean, nobody, whether your parent, whether your best friend, whether your sibling, nobody is allowed to have the power to make you feel small. So you're allowed to fight back. Like, so I did not like that aspect. Her needs are legitimate. She has needs, and she was in a situation in her life where she couldn't meet her needs. Oh, and the way we were brought up, it's a typical Nigerian African upbringing that your husband is supposed to provide for you, or the man of the house is supposed to do everything. So that's fine. But it doesn't mean you have to make the person feel small because he couldn't meet up to your needs. That's just mean. And she was being a bully. You could break up with someone and not be a bitch about it, basically. I'm sorry, I don't know if we're allowed to use the word here, but you could very well not be an asshole about the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah, I
if you
get what you're
if someone
saying.
is breaking up with you like that, you won't like it. And he's doing his best. It's not like he was a lazy bum or something. But she trivialized his dream, she trivialized his hopes and made him feel small. So it doesn't matter. I would not take it from anybody, not even my parents or but people that are supposed to be my family, my loved ones, that make me feel stupid for doing this thing. You can also tell me that I'm wrong, but not make me feel stupid about it. So that's just my take on it.
But was the payback necessary?
No, now it was his turn. He was being an asshole about the whole thing. Like, you were
I mean,
hot. I
okay.
would have preferred, personally, I would have preferred that as I met her, and you'd be like, you bitch, and get over with it. Like, I would have preferred it. Or he's a writer in the movie, so he should have written like a scathing epistle about how terrible she is as a person and let it go. But all those theatrics, I mean, that is a person that will kill you and be smiling with you. So no, I don't like those kind of people. They're those kind of people that would laugh with you and put poison in your food the moment you turn. So no, I do not. No, it wasn't necessary. That's my personal opinion. I would have preferred if he came out then and he was like, why are you talking to me now that you see that I'm rich? All of a sudden, no, you are such a terrible person. You are not like, basically he would have even told her off, oh, something like, as horrible as saying you're not a wife material, whatever that means. But he could have just said it then and there. And then we'll know that yes, he's hot and she hurt him. That's why he said all that. But he going through all that, man, leave those kind of people. No, that was a terrible thing. So I did not like it. Yes, he was trying to get back at her, but no, please.
I personally think that even makes him a terrible person to get married to,
Yes,
for
he's a
whoever he
serial
will end
killer.
up, for whoever he will end
He,
up with. Because if you come to me
mhm.
and tell me you did that to a person, and oh,
Yeah,
because this person did this and that to you, but well, Elsie, you are the one I want to now get married to, and all, that
no
is the
way.
cue to run away. Because
You are a
what
serial
else
killer.
what else
Mm-mm.
are you going to do to me? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, what else are
Yes.
you going to do to me? Now he's successful. What
Mm-hmm.
is it to tell what he could do to me? I mean, I didn't have to struggle with him for him to become
Yeah,
successful. So, but if you can do that to somebody who you knew from the past because you're still hurt, now you're a very vindictive person and you can do
of
anything to me as
course.
well. So that's going to be my first red flag, to start running away. Because it's not
Yes.
going to be, oh yes, he's happy, everything is rosy for him. What if something happens in
Yes.
future? So
Yes.
that's it
What
for
if you
me.
now hurt him and then suddenly you don't even know exactly
And
what
what
you
if
did,
I
and
even
then
hurt him, thank you, unknowingly?
Mhm. So
And
like
then
I
he
said,
sits down to plan a complete destruction
he's
of
a
my life.
serial killer.
It's not gonna
He is a
happen.
serial killer. You need to run. But the irony is that so many women will fall into that trap and say, "Oh, I'm different, and it wasn't me. I'm different. Oh, my cookie is special, so there's no way he would do that to
Eh?
me." And then we always fall into the trap and think that we are different, like it would never happen to us. And when it happens, you'll be like, "How did it happen?" But he
It
showed you
will
his character.
happen. It
He
will
has shown
happen
you his
because
character. You chose not to believe him and think, oh no, he's a knight in shining armor for me. But for everyone else, he's a jerk. Like, no, you're not
my
so
darling,
special.
and I think women need to begin to understand that
Yes.
um yes, you can be a good person, right? But
Mhm.
whatever reaction a person decides to put up based on their previous hurt in the past, it's also a part of who they
Yeah.
are. So that person
Thank
would
you.
always come back to the fore. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
when people go to a restaurant and they will go out with a guy, and the guy is being all rude and condescending to the waiters and everybody there, and you think, oh,
Yeah.
he's a nice person to you. No, that is who he is. If he
No,
can treat
that is character.
people that,
Yeah.
if he can treat anybody else that isn't you in a condescending manner, then very soon, very, very soon, you will get that
He's
same
just
treatment.
acting for
It's not
you.
rocket
He's
science.
just acting
Yeah.
for you. Yeah. When he's tired of acting for you, his personality will come true. Then
But
you
like you
find out you're
said,
not
a
so
lot of
different from the
women think that they
others.
are better than the next person. There's
Yep.
something unique about them. Maybe they're good in
Yep.
bed, or they cook
Like I said,
better, or they've been
their
chosen
cookies,
as wife,
their
like my
cookies
friend
the
would say. So
diamond
they're
field.
superior. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they forget all that, and then they fall into the trap,
Yes.
and we start hearing stories. But anyway, moving away from that, let's talk about the good guys in our lives that we don't pay
Okay.
attention to. People like
Yeah.
OC. Like, I was genuinely hurt for OC, and I like something rather that they did in the movie. So
Mm-hmm.
usually when they try to bring the other guy, the friend that the lady isn't liking, they make the person
Yeah.
look a bit not at par with other guys in terms of looks
Oh,
and
yes.
success. But in this
Mm-hmm.
particular movie, this guy is fine. He's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, he could afford to pay for your your,
Mm-hmm.
your surprise trip to Dubai. So
Dubai.
he
Yeah.
is doing okay, right? He's a good guy. He speaks well. He's listening. He's just there. It wasn't about, oh, this one, can't you see that it's finer than? He was cool. So
Mm-hmm.
what is it? What is it that makes us not just pay attention to that very good guy? Actually, if he's as good as OC in the movie, why we are chasing the one that is not chasing us? What's
Mm-hmm.
going on?
There's every woman. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're married or if you're a grandmother or you're a great grandmother or you're a newly wedded person. I don't care. Every woman has an OC in her life. You might not want to say it out loud, but there's every woman has an OC in her life where we friend zone them. You understand? We keep them around. They should be circling around us like butterfly. So when things are bad, he's the person you go meet and cry, and you just feel better that there's someone in your corner. So and you call him different variations of names. He's your bestie. He's your whatever. You understand? But you can't help it. He's always. I'm sorry, but I know C is always the last option in our lives. It's like when we've gone through all the mess in our life. You understand? So it doesn't matter how successful he is or how not successful he is, but we don't see it. There's always something about an OC that just makes us automatically blind. We don't actually see him. He's
It's
not
village
the
people, though. It's village
yeah,
people because OC is a good guy, fam. OC
yeah,
is
but
a good guy in this
let
movie.
me go
Like,
literal
and
now.
he's an okay guy. But you say what?
let
The
me
heart what
let
what
me
what?
go literal now. Basically, he's not the main character. That's just it. He is the supporting male lead. You understand? That's what OC is. So you, as the female lead of the story, you're not going to hook up with the supporting character. You understand?
Hmm.
The main lead has to do something very horrible to you in your life, and you've gone through so many main leads, then that is when you will now realize the goodness of the supporting male character. So that's what he
Hi.
is. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what he is.
Dear ladies watching, please pay attention to the supporting characters in your life.
Yeah,
They might be the
so
one.
they
Stop
might be the
looking for
one.
stop looking
It's
for what
you,
is your
the
shokoto in Sokoto.
it, it's you, the female lead, that has to bless the male supporting character to change him
Hmm.
into the male lead. If you don't
But
do that, he will
sometimes
keep on
too,
being
I
the supporting
mean,
character.
sometimes OC is very upfront with what he wants. He was there sending flowers and doing that. But most of the
Yeah,
supporting characters, they don't do anything too. They're just there. They've
yeah, the
slid into the friendship zone
team
and they're
zone. Yeah,
comfortable there. So I think some effort too would not hurt. But
of
anyway,
course.
moving away from OC and supporting roles, taking it to the big question at the end. If you find yourself in that situation, my darling, you're married to a wealthy guy, not just rich guy. His name
Mm-hmm.
opens doors, right? It's not
Of
just his
course.
name. When you mention the name, everybody's head
Yes.
is turning,
When you
right?
mentioned Kester Jacobs, yeah.
And then you realize that he's gay. I mean, he wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not like he was upfront with you from day one, and you know that this
Mhm.
is an arranging marriage. That this is what I'm going
Of
to do.
course.
Like you walk into him doing it with
Yeah.
a guy. What would you do?
Ah, see, let me first state that this is not just a movie. Like I said,
Hmm.
it's a very relatable story. It's not just, oh, it's a movie. It doesn't happen. It happens, honey, all the time, every time in this country. So, and then I was talking to my friend, and my friend was like, oh, what would you do? I was like, first off, I do not agree with the mom. The mom is totally wrong. And the mom and the senior pastor, I was like, they're totally wrong. I need to state that they're totally wrong. And like, they should pray. The pastor was like, they'll pray. There's nothing God cannot do. I told my friend, I said, what's the definition of miracle? Miracle is something you want so much. It's impossible, but you cannot help but wishing and praying for it. I said, does that guy look like somebody that was wishing and praying to pray away his gay? He's not praying away his gay. He loves being gay. He's just hiding it because he can't come out because of the society we're from. He can't come out and beat his chest and say, I'm gay. If he had the option, there is no way he would have chosen her. So as long as he is not praying for that miracle, because I said heaven is not going to give you a miracle you, the recipient, you're not willing for. I was like, he's not praying for it. So even if she prays, his whole community pray, that miracle is not going to happen because the recipient is not them, it's him. It's not going to happen. So, my dear, there's nothing like pastor will pray and it will go away. No, I'm going to take option number two. Take the hush money. Like, hush money is not tiny money. It has to be boatloads of money. Take hush money and get out. I'm not interested in being that dysfunctional dynamic. No. I need hush money because I need to be in Bali. I need to be in the Maldives and be consoling myself for what I saw that I did not plan on seeing. No now. Hush money is
You know what? For
necessary.
me, yeah, for me, I've come
Yeah.
to that point where I don't say never to anything, right? Especially when it comes to comfort. I like comfort. Yeah.
Of course.
So my major problem in this situation is that
Yeah.
he hid it to himself. And although the movie did not tell us a lot about his reaction after being caught, I
Yeah.
also feel like he's going to be arrogant about it,
Yeah.
right? And that's going to be a problem. But if I know from day one that this is what I'm getting into, right?
Mm,
It gives me time to think. It gives me
of
time to weigh
course.
my options. It gives me time to do some research to know what the risks are when it comes to having a heterosexual relationship with a gay man, because you are
Yeah.
understanding that he would also be having relations with other men, right? So
Yeah.
what is the safety net? How am I sure that I'm not going to contract a disease with you?
Of course.
I mean, like you said, this is this way because of the society we live in, and a lot of gay men cannot come out to say they are gay men. So you see them getting married and
Of
also
course.
doing the shenanigans by the side. So when you find yourself in that situation, sometimes it's not going to be white and black, but I think that
Yeah.
people need to also learn to negotiate what works for them. I mean, if being in the marriage to save his face works for you and for him, it will still come with a hush money. So I'm
Yes.
seeing a situation whereby the three options that was given at the end of the movie is an option where I decide to merge everything together and see what happens. And then when I try it out for few weeks and months and years and it doesn't work, then I can now decide to say, you know what? You're not respecting me enough in this hour.
Arrangement. Collect hush money and go away. A good friend will give you that kind of advice. You understand? Instead of you, because maybe she said that. I know my best friend would tell me that she'll be like, instead of you staying there and especially like you said, if the guy's arrogant about it, he doesn't actually care about your um emotions, your reactions, whatever. And it's like, yo, I'm Kester Jacobs. I've got money. and you're nobody. So basically, shut up and sit here. So if he's like that, then of course, hush
If
money
it's
is the best
like that,
option.
then definitely hush money and run away. Because I mean, what would I be
Yeah,
doing with you? It means that after that point, you don't care about
yeah.
me. You're just
Then the
I'm
third
just a frog.
option,
Yeah,
then the third option where the pastor was like, just leave. Like, nah, please, I'm not leaving empty-handed. As in, you scarred me for life. I didn't need to see that. But if you had told
yeah.
me before, if you had told me, like you said, if you had told me before, like this is what I am, you understand? Of course, there's so many successful marriages, not just in Nigeria, even abroad, you understand, of people of same sex, but because of their society, because of the parents, you have so many cases like that in Japan, in China, even here, even in I grew up in the north, it's so prevalent. You just need to have a conversation with the person, with your spouse. This is what I do. This is what I like. But you know the kind of place we're from. It would be like such a terrible thing. Then you come to a basic agreement. I don't know if the agreement will last, you understand? Because sometimes we get emotional about things and then you get crazy. But especially when one person is too vested in the whole thing, then it becomes a downside. But if two of you are pragmatic, it will last longer. And then you know, I don't know, but I just feel like hush money is like the best option. Just take your hush money
I mean, it looks like
and
it
go
too,
away.
because it's a situation I wouldn't pray for my enemy. I mean,
No,
if people are getting into that, let them get into it because they know and they have
of
decided that
course,
yes,
of
I like or
course.
love this person enough to still endure this part of them. But if it's a case of I did not know
Oh my,
anything, I just
no, no,
walked
no, no.
into them doing it.
No.
Hey,
I'm
Chimamanda.
sorry, Elsie. I'm sorry, Elsie. But that's where you're wrong for me. Oh. If you're in it and saying it's because I like this person or love this person, you are down for heartbreak. You should not be.
Hmm.
You should, I swear, because
It has to
emotional
be. It has
people,
to be a very,
it has to be
what's the
a
word
clear
now?
cut and
A
pragmatic.
logical. Yeah.
Thank you. You cannot do this kind of thing and say it's because I love this person. It's because I you can't do that. It will not work. Like
Hmm.
no, you love this person because when you love someone, and I'm not talking about love as a familiar love. I'm talking about love that you feel hot and bothered for the person. You feel like romantically hot for the person. It's not gonna work because once you always the person you're feeling all hot and bothered for, he's not giving you the time of the day. You strip naked for the guy and he doesn't see you. Like
Hmm.
it would drown out your what's the word? Everything that makes you you. Every day you keep feeling smaller and smaller because you try to compensate for some. It's just like having sex with someone out
But
of
no, no,
pity.
no. Remember, I said that there would be conversation and there will be rules. I
Yes.
mean, if he is going out there and his case is as bad as um my nakedness doesn't move you because you are just gay and there's nothing you can do about it, then
Yeah.
the woman would also have to have room to actually get what she wants out there. So
Of course, that's why I said
this is not going
emotionally
to
she
be the
cannot
normal
be invest.
relationship.
That's what I'm saying. Emotionally, she cannot be invested
Hmm.
in that. It's just going to be
Well, there's still a
basically
bit of
friends.
I mean, in friendship there's a level of emotional investment.
Yes, but not. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. My emotional investment I'm talking about is romantic investment. You cannot be romantically
Mm.
involved. Like you cannot think your heart beats for this person. No. Your heart should beat for this
Mm.
person because it's your friend. Oh, this is my friend. This is my good friend. Just imagine it's your friend, your guy friend that is giving you just not your husband. It's just like I don't know. I don't know if we can talk about other movies
Yeah,
while
sure.
we're reviewing. Oh, I don't know if there's a series called Why Women Kill.
Mm-hmm.
Why Women Kill. So the first season it was this lady Lucy Liu and this English actor, I've forgotten his name. So they were married for years and she didn't know he was gay until much later she found out and she almost wanted to kill him. Then later they found a balance. Like she found her own lover, a young thing she was having a good time with, and he went off on his own and they became best of friends, you know? They each go out and come back and talk about it. They still remained married. And she was like, they were planning on divorcing, but they became friends. So that is a situation where they've now found out themselves, they've gone over the hurt and everything. And then she realized, oh, we've actually been friends more than actually spouses, and then they retain their relationship. So that's kind of picture, I guess. If you want to do that, then you have to remember that you cannot be romantically involved, like emotionally, romantically involved with that person. It has to be that they're your friends, and if you're a good friend, you're not going to have the hots for your friend because you don't actually see your friend that way. So that's just it. That's my
Mm.
opinion, though. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Um, so if you're going to review the movie on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
Um, you know what? I think I'll give it an 8, I guess. I'll give it an 8.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. My name remains Elsie Godwin. If there is any movie you think you want us to talk about or we can expand on the lessons it portrayed, please send me a DM on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. The handle is Elsieisy across board, ELSIEISY. Send me a message. I would love to read from you and see what we can do about that conversation. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel by clicking the red button below, and also hit the bell button so you get notified each time there's a new content. Till another upload on this YouTube channel, do take care.